Hello everybody.
Hello.
My name is Jessica Thompson.
And I am Stephen Cruz.
And together we are Stevie and Jess. Welcome to Mongolia. We're in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. And we were just like you guys a year and a half ago. We were sitting just where you are watching somebody else do a takeover and completely could not fathom how they're doing it. So today we're going to tell you how we are here. And everything else that goes along with that. Okay, so this is my fourth time doing this. I ramble a lot, so I'm gonna give you the highlights. My name is Jessica. I am from America. I have never really traveled before. I've traveled a little bit around America, not really outside of America. And about a year and a half ago, I stumbled upon ITA and teaching while you travel. Stephen is from the UK, so once I told him about the idea, he was really, really sold on it. And yeah, it wasn't a thing that I ever thought was possible. I didn't think that you could actually do this, but a year and a half later, here we are. We're in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, really random place, and we just left China. So we're going to tell you a little bit more about that and why we decided to do teaching online.
And I am Stephen. I'm from a small town in Scotland, in the UK. About 10 years ago, I came to America on a scholarship for volleyball to a small college in North Carolina. After I graduated, I got a job working in higher education, and I've been there for about 5 years. The 9 to 5 was kind of grinding away at my sanity. So when Jess suggested ITA, I was all in happily. So a year and a half later, we're in Ulaanbaatar. I've always loved traveling, so I'm really stoked to be doing this, and I'm happy to have Jess with me too. So yeah, looking forward to showing you the rest of our day here. So as we said, we are in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. This is not our permanent destination right now. We're only here for about a month. We just left China, and we're going to be going to Japan and then the rest of Southeast Asia in the future. We don't really have a plan more than a month ahead at this point in time, and we are country hopping the whole time.
Yeah, and that's the best part about what we do. So we teach English online. We work for a company called Wales English, and we teach on the weekends. So we teach maybe with a full schedule 20 hours a week.
Yep.
And we make the same amount that we would make working at our jobs at home, but we can have the freedom to just travel and go where we want to go. So that's the really cool thing about it.
Yeah. So we work Friday nights, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. So we have Monday through Friday completely free, and we actually have a big gap in the middle on the weekends too, so we can still go out and do stuff, which is lovely. But yeah, it's really nice and freeing, and it's a big difference from what we were doing before. We were both in 9 to 5 jobs. We were both getting very frustrated with it, so having the freedom to go around and bounce around and basically just work off our computer is massively
really, really cool, yeah. And most of the people that you see who do these takeovers, they actually have signed contracts, so they're in whatever country they're in for at least 10 to 12 months or 6 months at the minimum, and they're kind of locked into a certain country. And we decided that that was just not what we wanted. Our whole point for leaving was to have freedom and to just kind of do whatever we wanted to do and not have to be locked into anything. So that's why we chose teaching online. It was the best option for us, and we're going to tell you more about that as we explore Mongolia today. So if you guys have any questions, we're going to post a Ask Me Anything box right here, and just ask us any questions. We'll answer all of them. Hope you guys enjoy.
So as we're traveling, we use Airbnb as our main source of accommodation. So the one that we're staying at right now costs about $470 for the month, which is pretty brilliant. Only about $240 each, and it's right in the centre of Ulaanbaatar on Peace Avenue, which runs the whole way along the city. So this is the. Here's Jess over here in the living room. Our bed obviously through here. It's kind of studio. We don't have walls there; it's just a curtain. Our kitchen through here. Obviously, as we're traveling a long time, we have to cook as much as we can in the kitchen just to kind of keep the costs down. We've got everything that we need, all the essentials. And then our favourite little bit in here is our balcony over here, which gives you a pretty sick view of Ulaanbaatar too. So, like we said, we're actually not teaching today. So, which is one of the nice things of what we do. It's a Tuesday and we don't have to work. So, we're actually going to take you up to a Buddhist monastery that's just up the road. Buddhism is the main religion of Mongolia. And as we haven't been yet, we're going to check it out.
And then have some Mongolian food later. And you guys enjoy?
Yeah. So we are coming up to the monastery right now. It's the main monastery in the whole of Mongolia. It's really, really beautiful to walk up, and it's literally right around the corner from where we live. There's pigeons going crazy everywhere right now.
It looks like a whole campus, so we're excited to see what it looks like.
And it's supposed to have the largest indoor Buddha statue in the world, so looking forward to this. So we're still in the monastery right now. It's a pretty big campus, but one of the most iconic things about Mongolia are the yurts. So Mongolia is the 13th biggest country in the world by landmass, but it's also the least densely populated. There's only 3 million people here, and about half of the country are living in nomadic tribes, which they'll stay in these yurts, which are the large circular tents with the wooden frames. So you'll see these all out in the countryside of Mongolia, and you see them in the city as well. And some people live in them. Sometimes the ones in the city are more for tourism, but that's a yurt for you.
Okay guys, so we're walking down the street and I just wanted to show you guys, that's our apartment building right there. So pretty much anywhere that we need to go in Mongolia, it's only about a mile walk. So we are loving the fact that we can walk everywhere.
And of course, in a country just filled with so much history and great leaders like the Khans and everything, one of the site of the biggest empire in history, one statue stands head and shoulders above them all. And of course, that is that of the Beatles. So there is reason for the statue. While communism had its grip on Mongolia, obviously it was very hard to bring in any goods from outside of the country, but there was a record store on this street that managed to import some stuff illegally, and the Beatles were at the height of their fame during that period. So there's stories of kids sitting in the alleyways singing
doing stuff
Beatles
like
song.
that.
Yeah, and nowadays this is a big extreme sports a little bit. There's skateboarders and there's BMXers and scooter guys running about. So
all over the place.
So little bits of civil disobedience are still going on. Viva la revolution.
And we have yet to eat traditional Mongolian food, anything that's really Mongolian at all. So we are taking you guys with us for the first time. And we are at the Mongolian National Restaurant. Let's go. Gosh. I can't do it.
Doing Jess?
Okay, so we almost missed this. This is a part of the buffet where you literally pick your meat, you pick your vegetables, you choose your sauces, and you go. Give us a show. Okay, so obviously that breakdown is per person. We are traveling together, so I would say take that, multiply it by 2, and that's the total total expenses for both of us together. But that's what we pay individually. So we split the cost of everything, and we have a lot of money to play with. And our schedule isn't even completely full with Wales yet. So if we actually fill up our schedule to working about 22 hours a week, we'll be making about $700 more than that income right now. So,
and honestly, if we feel like it, we could probably do it even cheaper and save even more if we needed to.
Yeah.
Just as us taking some luxuries.
Yep. So there you go. Ask us any questions.
So we are in Sukbatar Square, or Jenga Square, however you want to call it. It is the central square of Ulaanbaatar. You can see it sprawls out over here, all the way to the hills on the far side. And right behind us is the man himself, Genghis, fronted by his sons Kublai and Orga, can't remember the name. But like we said before, Mongolia was under communist rule until 1991. They were helped out by the Soviets for a long time until they got free market capitalism, and they've been growing ever since. So it's a really weird mix of Asian-looking people, Russian-sounding accents and languages,
and some European lifestyles. Like it's really, really odd.
Yeah, so it's a really weird mix of places, but it's a really, really cool mix at the same time, and it makes for a really odd experience, but an exciting one at the same time. So
cool.
Definitely check it out for that reason. Yes. Cheers to the Chinggis.
Let's answer some questions. Okay, so the first question that we have is how long is our contract with Wales English? And our contract is a 12-month contract, but we teach for them for 12 months and then we get to sign a new one if we feel like teaching more.
So yeah, the schedule is really, really good for us. It's been really working so far. It doesn't fill up straight away, but it goes pretty quickly. Jess got it very, very fast compared to me, probably because I'm big and hairy and she looks like that. So we weren't totally sure what this question meant, Obviously, Airbnb is the company where people can put their apartments, houses, whatever up for short-term rent. We just plug in the city that we're going to and pick from there. If you're interested in any of the places that we've stayed, please let us know and we'll be glad to send you some links for it. Best advice, scout around, but we use World Nomads. They're pretty good for travel. They're designed for travellers like us, so they're pretty good. You can plug in very specific details as to which country you're in and all your possessions and stuff. So check out World Nomads, but scout around yourself first for sure.
Okay, so Stephen actually got the job with Wales English before I did, and for me it was between Wales and VIP Kid. VIP Kid, you teach a new child every week. With Wales English it's a little bit different. So with Wales you can actually get a child for an entire semester, which is good for two reasons. One, you get guaranteed pay for 25 weeks, and also you get to build a relationship with the child. So you don't just teach a new child every week and have to figure that out. You get to actually know your kid and work with them on a day or weekly basis. Okay, so we get this question a lot, and the easy answer is that we both get base salary. So I get paid $19 an hour, Stephen gets paid $20 an hour. Gender pay gap is real even in China, and we get bonuses on top of that. So with all the bonuses that we are eligible to get, we can make up to $31 an hour.
Yeah.
Depending on what bonuses we get for the month. So that's pretty cool.
So we found it because I couldn't work for a lot of American companies like VIP Kid and stuff, and then I got rejected from Dada. The last minute I found Wales, found that their pay was better than any other company in the industry, which is brilliant, and they accepted British people too with a funny accent. But after that point, once I got the CV in, you have to have your bachelor's, you have to have a TEFL certificate, and you have to have some kind of teaching experience. At that point I had an interview, 3 training sessions, and then I was able to start going. So there was a good bit of process, but it was good, it was worth it. And in terms of visas, if you're an American like Jess, you get off lucky and you can get into Mongolia very easily.
30 days, no visa.
Yeah, you get straight in, no problem at all. If you're a UK citizen or a bunch of others like me, you do have to get a visa. I got mine in Beijing. It was a bit of a process for us, but it wasn't actually that complicated. You just have to have the right things and a little bit obtuse with how they work with things. But yeah.
Okay, so Stephen and I are back at the apartment now. There's nothing left to show you about Mongolia today, but I want to answer some more questions. So how often do we get paid with our company? Wales English pays us once a month, and that's how we budget our our lifestyle. Okay, and another question is this one right here. I don't have any teaching experience, but will that prevent me from teaching? No, it won't. One thing that we got advice on, and we will also give you the same advice, is that if you had any experience whatsoever, an ITA practicum, if you ever babysat, if you did anything in the community, if you did anything with kids at any point in your life, you can embellish on that, embrace that, use that as your teaching experience. Tutoring, anything. Use that whenever you're having your interview, and that'll be just enough. Yes, Stevie and I got certified at the same time. We kind of dove into it together. We decided that we wanted to do it, and it was easiest for us to do it together because our lifestyles are pretty much in sync at that point of our relationship. So that was easiest for us, and yeah. Was it hard finding jobs together? No, it wasn't. Like we said before, Stephen got his job with Wales English first, and I kind of followed in his footsteps. His company was much more impressive than VIP Kid to me, and that's what I decided to do. Okay, so this one is a hard one because I don't want to ever make a guarantee. For us, we know that this is what we want to do, and we budget as well as we can, but we still indulge. So we still go out, we have a beer, we still go out and eat food, we still pretty much get what we want to get, but we make sacrifices. My best piece of advice to you would be to research the area that you want to go to, what country you want to go to, what the living expenses, what the lifestyle is going to be, and then budget from there. So take your salary that you'll be making and compare it, and that'll be a good help to you.
I know what you're thinking. How did she end up with me? It's a joke, right?
Yeah. Still laughing. No, but for real, this is a fun question. Stephen and I met in Wilmington, North Carolina. We both played beach volleyball. Long story short, we met at a tournament. A year and a half later, I finally said yes to going on a date with Stephen.
I stalked her for a year.
And the rest is history.
So it's not quite like VIP Kid where you can change your schedule every week or so. We set our hours, which is great, but once we have a kid, we are locked in for 25 weeks. So it's flexible, but maybe not as flexible as some of the other ones. But again, the pay is better, so it's up to you.
Yes, it is a challenge sometimes. We spent 2 months in China before we came to Mongolia, and we didn't have any issues there. In Mongolia, we're having some issues, but it's always something you can work around.
That's the most... From what I'm aware with Wales, there's no requirement for you to be a native English speaker, but you have to be pretty much perfect. And as well, the parents are usually pretty picky about what kind of accents they use. I was worried about being Scottish. But as long as you're very, very fluent, you should be okay.
Okay, this is a really, really good question. So for our company specifically, it is a China-based company, which means that most of the children we will be teaching are from China. So they require that you have a TEFL certificate and a bachelor's degree. Not all companies are like that, but ours specifically is. So you have to have. Okay, so Stephen and I are a little confused by this. I think that if you have a TEFL certificate in general, that should be fine for Wales English. We're not really sure how you got it with VIP Kids, so if you message us, we might be able to talk that through. But yeah, you should be fine. But clarification would be helpful. Okay, so unfortunately, like we said before, if you work for Wales English, you cannot work for them without a bachelor's degree. That is a Chinese government regulation across the entire country. So if you work for a company that is in China, you're going to have that requirement. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and answer this question because it was a really, really good question. Our setup compared to VIP Kid. It's nothing fancy. We don't have to have any crazy backgrounds. We don't need all the puppets and all the show. We just teach like this, like I'm posting right here, and it's just really simple and easy. Okay, you guys, so we're kind of running out of space to film any more on here. So we're going to answer as many questions as we can, but if we don't get to any ones that you guys have, we only have 24 hours on ITA's page, so please, please, please message us on our own page. We would love to help you. We want to answer all your questions, and we hope to get to your questions and answer them.
And apply to ITA, quit your job, and go travel somewhere.
Go travel the world.